In my time speaking to myself in my bedroom on YouTube as an amateur video essayist in the genre of girl speaks to herself in her bedroom video essay, there's one video that to this day, I have a love-hate relationship with, because it is a video that just keeps on giving. And that video is, I regret decluttering my DVDs. And that's a video that just keeps on giving. It's just like the clap. It just keeps on giving, you know? And what it gives me like a peephole into the darkness of mankind. And it kind of chips away at my faith in humanity. It was a year ago since that video premiered, but even to this day, I still get like the random nasty comment. There are people out there who got really riled up, really freaking angry, just really angry at me for even entertaining the idea of decluttering my DVDs back in 2016, almost 10 years ago. They're so angry at the fact that I bought into minimalism, that I became a minimalist, and they're just angry at minimalists in general. The very concept, the very movement of minimalism, minimalism gets me so riled up. They just absolutely hate minimalism. They absolutely despise Marie Kondo for even ushering into the Western world the minimalism movement. They're angry. They're like, That sounded like I was taking a very painful shit, but that's like the kind of anger that I see coming out of these comments. How dare you get rid of your DVDs in 2016? Like, how dare you even decide to declutter any of your things? So that's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Teresa, and this is why people get so defensive over their possessions. Let's go. So the tone of these nasty comments from anti-minimalists, it's like a little leprechaun dancing a jig, you know, with two middle fingers flying. Dun, 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 dun. You want to declutter me, Lucky Charms, eh? I'll give you something to declutter. I can't help mocking. And actually, I have this friend, we work together, and she's like, you have a talent, Teresa, of just riling people up. Like, you make people fly off the handle. I have a very bitchy voice. It is undeniable. Since I was in preschool, I'll say something to the teacher. Go sit in the chair right now. Don't take that tone with me, missy. Let your hair down and have a little fun. That's all the mocking I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to tackle this with some empathy for the people who just hate minimalists. Unfortunately, you know, instead of being like a sociopath, I am an empath. Unfortunately, like I can see your point of view, and I am going to empathize with you. And that's all the mocking I'm going to do. I'm going to talk through why I think some people get very defensive, like just seeing somebody declutter their home. We're going to explore why that is. Minimalism is actually one of my favorite topics. Just looking at a very extreme minimalist home brings me a lot of calm. It really reduces my anxiety. And that is because when I grew up sidestepping a lot of things. When I visit my parents, I see a lot of things that I think that they could get rid of, but it's a very sensitive topic, and broaching it is like opening up Pandora's box. My mom, if you even mention getting rid of something, like she will just blow up. It's a very sensitive topic to a lot of people. I have experienced in my life, like when I was decluttering things, there was somebody in my life that got really weird about it. I was getting rid of like old dusty tchotchkes and knickknacks and stuff, and they got really weird. I would say kind of like passive aggressive about it. Like they would not, confront me in so many words, but they would have these barbed jabs toward minimalism in general. Unbeknownst to themselves, it was like the way I chose to live my life at that point, which is to live with fewer things or just halt my consumption of things in general and get rid of like knickknacks, my DVDs, tchotchkes, etc. Probably subconsciously it threatened them because it was basically invalidating their way of life. Like their way of life was just to collect a lot of material goods. They very much prided themselves on the various collections that they had in their their house, somebody close to them getting rid of their stuff is basically invalidating their lifestyle. Like basically my lifestyle at that time, minimalism, what I chose to do with my home threatened their lifestyle, threatened their sense of self. And that's why I started to get this weird vibe from them, this passive aggressive kind of mean girl vibe, and their defense mechanism just railing on minimalism as a movement, like minimalism in general, how it's like a stupid millennial thing. It's a stupid fad. It'll never last. It's like avocado toast or like millennial gray. She felt like Marie Kondo, and being the spokesperson of minimalism, was the enemy threatening her lifestyle, which is not the case at all. Her home is her home. My home is my home. What I choose to do with my home has nothing to do with what she does in her home. But for some reason, just seeing me cart off things to Goodwill irritated her so much. But it came down to like, who is responsible? Who like brainwashed you to do this? And it's Marie Kondo. Sweet little Marie Kondo is the enemy. Where is this anger coming from? Where is the passive aggressive anger? Why go after Marie Kondo? It's definitely a double insult when you say that Marie Kondo, because you have to put a face to an enemy, has brainwashed you into getting rid of your things because you're so stupid. You are so stupid that you cannot possibly have thought this up yourself if it were not for your cult leader, Marie Kondo. Why are you guys so angry over somebody's minimalist lifestyle? Because in actuality, nothing they do in their home has any relevance to what is happening in your home. There's no way in any scenario whatsoever is somebody going to just break into your home and start organizing your closet and getting rid of your shoes, go into your pantry and start cleaning things. Somebody's going to break into your home and start cleaning out your home. So like a squad of minimalists breaking in and entering into homes and getting rid of people's things. Like that will never happen. Yet there's still this feeling of threat, of unresolved anger toward people who declutter. While I watch extreme minimalism content to calm myself down, I also watch hoarders, whatever snippets they put on YouTube from A&E. I watch that to also calm myself down because I see people in their extreme hoarding lifestyles, like dirty hoarding. We're talking about 15 cats. We're talking about like walking on garbage, piles of clutter and junk all the way up to the ceiling. People can't even move around. It's very sad. And I look at that and it's like the worst living conditions ever that you can do to yourself in a first world country. In a sick way, I'm sorry. I feel bad that it does make me feel better, but it does make me feel better because it's like I'm very worried about my parents' clutter, but at least it's not like that. So what I've noticed in hoarders, I've noticed a pattern in that usually the hoarder, the subject of interest is an older person, older lady, older guy. For our example, let's use the older, senior lady. She's usually like a very sweet lady and she knows she has a problem. She needs help for her hoarding. She needs to clear out her house because either it's going to be condemned by the city as a fire hazard or for unsafe living conditions, or she's going to lose some loved ones. She's isolated herself because of her stuff. So she wants help. She's reached her breaking point and she wants help. There's nothing to dislike about them other than the conditions that they're living in. But once the cleanup crew comes in and their friends and family come in and they bring out all their things, their anxiety starts to rise. And then when people are like, you need to throw away this, you need to throw away that, this is just junk, why are you holding on to this? That is when they start to change like in a Jekyll and Hyde kind of way, and they become really nasty. They go on the defensive because people are bringing out their things. And even though to our mind, to the observer, the things are garbage, like they're just literally dirty, moldy food. There's like the refrigerator with dirty, moldy food and they don't want to get rid of it. Expired vitamins, expired prescription drugs, dirty grocery bags. It's just all in our minds, all garbage. Like it could be repurposed in their mind, but it's all garbage. But when their friends and family, especially their friends and family, start bringing this out, you need to get rid of this, you need to get rid of that, this is garbage. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? That is when they start to feel attacked. And that's when they go on the defensive and they just become very mean and nasty and start to lash out. I feel like the reason why they become so defensive and so mean is because they feel like they're being attacked for their lifestyle. And even though what they're holding on to is garbage to you, the outside observer, to them, it's their personal things. There's a story behind behind a scrap of paper. There's a story behind this old calendar. Like, it's not garbage to them. It's a treasure to them. Hoarders have an inability to distinguish between what's important, like what's actually important and has value, versus what's not important to them. Everything's important. So therefore, everything's a treasure. The way I see it is that like a lot of their friends and family come in and they immediately like you just want to get rid of it all. It's disgusting. You want to get rid of it all. You want to help them. But in attacking their choice for keeping this dirty piece of paper, you're attacking them. You're attacking their lifestyle. They've probably spent 20, 30, 40 years accumulating all this stuff that they think is their treasure. You just basically went in and said that everything that you've accumulated in your life, like your collection, and to them, bear in mind, it's not trash, is just worthless. It's garbage. And what does that say about them? What does that make them feel? It makes them feel small. Okay, I spent 30 years of my life accumulating something that I thought was a treasure, and now you're calling it garbage. So you're saying that I just wasted 30 years of my life. 30 years of my life was for nothing, just nothing. My treasure is now garbage. I am garbage. And they've essentially made that person feel very, very small, and it makes them feel very, what's the word? Irrelevant, irrelevant. Like their life, everything they believed, everything that they've done on earth so far is irrelevant. It actually makes me feel really bad for them as I'm speaking about this right now. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to cry over like hoarders. Ultimately, everybody knows what that feels like. Am I right? It's a horrible feeling. The feeling of being made to feel small, of being made to feel irrelevant, to have somebody come in and just minimize, pun intended, invalidate your efforts. You take a lot of pride in your makeup and somebody comes in and goes like, are you wearing any makeup? You could use a little makeup. Or you spend 3 months or so working on a project, working overnight, really burning that midnight oil. Your manager at work comes in and he's like, when are you going to start on this project? That's all you did? Let's say you spent 20 years working on your PhD and somebody comes in and goes like, higher education is a joke. These are tangential examples, but it captures the feeling of being made to feel like your efforts don't matter. And while the case of the hoarder may seem like an extreme case, this is probably how somebody who thinks of minimalists as their enemy may feel. I suppose when they watch those YouTube videos, I love watching these YouTube videos, by the way, 25 things you don't need in 2025, 10 things that are out of style right now, get it out of your closet. Who's this person to tell me that I have to get rid of my china? You think you're hot shit living with no furniture? You think you're better than me? Ultimately, nobody wants to be made to feel that their mountain of gold that they spent their life building is fool's gold. When I walk around my neighborhood, ultimately, there's going to be somebody with an entirely packed garage. Like they'll open their garage and there's no space in that garage. It's full of boxes, full of items. Their car is not housed in their garage. Their car is parked on the curb. Their car is parked on the driveway. So when you think about this logically, your car is your second most valuable possession outside of your house, if you're so lucky enough to have both house and car. Why do some people keep their car outside at mercy to the elements when they can put it in the garage where it belongs because their garage is full of things? Are the things more valuable than your car? Maybe you're holding on to 30 years worth of newspapers. Are the newspapers more valuable than your car? Our emotions make us do illogical things when it comes to our stuff and our possessions, the sentimental value we attach to our possessions. Like in a perfect world, if we were all creatures of logic, we would have no problem getting rid of our stuff, of culling things that we don't need, that are considered unnecessary from our lives and our homes and our space. But we are not perfect creatures of logic. It reminds me of the first line of The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Of course, this is just talking about a derelict house, but it makes sense to describe us as human beings. No organism can exist in a state of absolute reality. Even larks and katydids are supposed by some to dream. That's us, we cannot exist in a state of absolute reality, of absolute perfect logic. We dream, and all our dreams are different. Honestly, the minimalist needs the collector and vice versa. Just like the Joker needs Batman. The Joker messes with the Batman, but the Joker will never get rid of the Batman. He will never get rid of Batman because he needs Batman. He loves Batman. Batman completes him. His world will be so boring. Gotham will be so boring without Batman. The Joker is more likely to dance a mean little jig. What does he collect? Like ne'er-do-wells? Freaky henchmen? Batman has got to be the minimalist. You know, he wears the same outfit every day. He wears a lot of black. He has a lot of gadgets, you know. The minimalists, they only have Mac computers, okay? I found the solution to peace between the minimalists and the anti-minimalists, those who hate clutter and those who hate people who like to declutter. They are living in a symbiotic relationship in which they need each other to thrive. The minimalist needs the collector in order to buy up their stuff once they declutter it, and the collector needs the minimalist to sell their stuff on eBay. In the circle of life, in the food chain of getting rid of things and taking stuff in, buying and selling. Don't you see that you guys complete each other, that you need each other, that you need somebody to be the opposition of you? You need somebody to feel superior to. Look at that person with all that clutter. Disgusting. Like, that makes you feel good about yourself. You need that person. You need to judge that person. Or somebody with their collection of DVDs or their action figures looking at somebody sitting in their bare room. Oh my God, what is wrong with this person? I'm glad I'm not like that. You need that person. You need somebody to make you feel superior about yourself. If that person is gone, who do you judge, you know? You're gonna look at your fellow collectors. You're not a true collector. You've taken your action figures out of their original wrapping. The minimalists had their way and they got rid of everybody with things. They'll just sit around and like judge each other for having too many things. You need somebody in opposition of you in order to function, I guess. In realizing this and helping you realize it, I have also realized that I have found peace. I have found the solution to world peace. I'm going to take this straight up to the UN. I'm just counting the days till I get the Nobel Peace Prize, and I'm going to put it right here. All the strife in the world would just be solved if you just have me go and negotiate with people. You just sick me at them. Sick me at all the conflicting parties in the world, and I will bring peace. You want to declutter me, Lucky Charms, eh? I'll give you something to declutter. I was named after Mother Teresa for a reason. I can't help it if my voice is bitchy. You just have to get over the bitchy voice to know that deep down, I'm a peacemaker. I'm a peacemaker, deliverer of peace. I will smite people with peace. So I think I've said enough, and I think I've done enough for today. There's only so much good work somebody could do in a single YouTube video. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. And if you've enjoyed me, or you just want to stay tuned to see when I'm going to get this Nobel Peace Prize, then please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see ya next time.